February 2026 isn't just looking busy. It looks absolutely ruthless to your free time. It's as if the industry decided to fire every heavy hitter at once. We've got the return of legendary horror icons, hardcore samurai action, and even bizarre experiments with mutant cats. The verdict is clear. Clear some drive space and prep your hardware because this month is a triumph of genre diversity. The trend is obvious. Developers have finally mastered blending old-school challenge with next-gen tech, turning every release into a major event. But before we dive into this list, be honest with yourself. Aren't you afraid that behind these massive titles lies nothing but empty hype? This past year taught us plenty of skepticism, as ambitious projects crumbled right at launch. Are you ready to risk a pre-order? Or is this list just going to be a string of disappointments? Let's find out. We're kicking things off with something truly bizarre. On February 3rd, Yap Yap arrives. It's a comedy shooter that seems determined to outdo High on Life in pure absurdity. You're dropped into a world where the guns don't just talk, they openly mock your playstyle, breaking the fourth wall every 5 minutes. Visually, it's like a playable acid trip. And while the humor pushes boundaries, the gunplay feels surprisingly tight. It's a game that challenges your sensibilities. You'll either fall in love with it or uninstall it within 30 minutes. Think that's the limit of weirdness? Just wait until we get to the genetic cats, but first, something for those who love the smell of gasoline and teamwork. On February 4th, Car Service Together awaits. Imagine the frantic chaos of overcooked but transplanted into a greasy auto shop. You and your friends will have to tear down engines against the clock. While one person holds the crankshaft, the other is frantically searching for that one 10mm wrench that always seems to vanish. There's nothing for you here as a solo player, but in co-op, the game becomes a factory for hysterical laughter and broken dreams. Teamwork is great, but how about surviving alone against an army of demons? February 5th brings us Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. This isn't just a remake, it's a total reimagining of a JRPG classic. The developers rebuilt the world from the ground up, preserving its fairy tale soul while stripping away the tedious grind of yesteryear. The massive continents now look so stunning you'll want to stop and stare at every bush. And the story of seeking out lost lands can easily swallow 100 hours. If you've been looking for a game to literally live in all month, this is it. But if you prefer more grounded and brutal tactical battles, our next guest won't disappoint. That same day, February 5th, Menace hits the shelves. The spiritual successor to the legendary Battle Brothers takes us to harsh planets where you lead a mercenary strike force. There's no room for heroism here, only cold calculation. Every hit can be fatal, and your soldiers' injuries stay with them forever, turning them into cripples or scarred veterans. It's a punishingly difficult tactical game where you'll hate every missed shot but keep coming back for more. Surviving in Menace is an achievement, but surviving in a dark feudal Japan where every shadow wants to eat you? That's an art form. On February 6th, Nioh 3 takes the stage. Team Ninja didn't just make another sequel, they pushed the boundaries of the genre by adding massive, semi-open locations. The combat is deeper than ever thanks to a spirit fusion mechanic that lets you shift your fighting style on the fly. It's lightning-fast action, where a split second of hesitation costs you your life. Many feared the series would fall into repetition, but Nioh 3 does something unexpected. It gives you the tools to feel like a true master of the blade rather than a victim of circumstance. It's not just a hard game. It's a deadly dance where you're finally the one leading. And while you're cleaning the yokai blood off your blade, those cats I mentioned have appeared on the horizon. February 10th marks the release of Mugenics. This project from Edmund McMillan, the creator of Isaac, has been in development for an eternity. It's a tactical RPG about breeding mutant cats in a basement. Insane genetics, thousands of ability combinations, and that signature grotesque art style make this game infinitely replayable. It's weird, it's occasionally gross, but it's impossible to put down. From kittens to Japanese mobsters is just a single step, and that step takes us straight to Okinawa. On February 11th, we get the Yakuza Kiwami 3 and Dark Ties bundle. We finally have a modern remake of the most divisive chapter of Kiryu's journey, with combat polished to match the latest entries. But the real gem here is Dark Ties. It's a standalone, gritty story about the criminal underworld that usually stays in the shadows. 2 games for the price of one is a gift for anyone who values Eastern flavor and hard-hitting drama. But what if the horror isn't the mafia, but something crawling out of your own subconscious? On February 13th, Reanimal will remind you why you were afraid of the dark as a kid. The creators of Little Nightmares have crafted a co-op horror about a brother and sister trapped on an island of anthropomorphic nightmares. The thick, sticky atmosphere and haunting sound design will have you flinching at every creak. It's a short but incredibly concentrated adventure that's best experienced with someone you trust. We're almost at the finish line, but before the final boss of the month, let's look into deep space. February 18th sees the launch of Star Trek Voyager, Across the Unknown. This is the massive RPG fans have waited decades for. Diplomacy, exploration of uncharted sectors, and ship-to-ship combat. It's all handled with incredible respect for the source material. If you've been missing that Mass Effect vibe, this flight into the unknown will be your highlight of the year. And here we are, the game we've waited years for. A return to a place where no one is waiting for us with flowers. Only a loaded shotgun. On February 27th, Resident Evil Requiem arrives. Capcom decided to close the month with a bang, returning us to the outskirts of Raccoon City. It's classic survival horror pushed to the absolute limit thanks to a new engine. The photorealism is so intense it becomes physically uncomfortable, and the updated damage system makes you feel every shot fired. You might think, Raccoon City again? How many times? But Requiem flips the script. This isn't just milking nostalgia. It's an admission that true horror lies in realizing that everything we built can collapse in a single night. Capcom is giving us a chance to fix it, or at least go down swinging. February 2026 is a month of contrasts, where everyone will find an adventure to suit their taste. Which of these games is going to make you forget about sleep and work? Let me know in the comments. I'm genuinely curious to see where you're placing your bets. And if you aren't with us yet, hit that subscribe button. We track every major release so you only spend your time on projects that deserve it. Ring the bell, drop a like, and check out our previous video on the best of last year. You'll find plenty of answers there as to why games look the way they do today. Play only the best. See ya!